I mean, come on. Look how cute that thing is. Just got a new cat. Mwah! Mojo's his name. It's Labor Day. Sitting here shooting a video, getting back to business here for real. And by the way, if you don't like cats, fuck you. I get it. Dogs are like more energetic and they show more love. Not realistically. And plus, there's no chance in hell that I'm paying somebody $50 an hour or whatever it costs to walk my dog when I'm not home. It's just not happening. They're too much of a responsibility. Cats are chill. They don't ask you for shit. They just live. I've been feeding him blood, beef, bacon, everything that he wants. Listen, if you're going to keep a cat in an apartment for pretty much its entire life, you let it eat what it wants. And by the way, you also don't cut its balls off. You don't chop its vagina off or whatever they have to do when they spay it or spray it, whatever. And you don't cut their claws out. If you're going to keep a slave, maybe let them keep their teeth and their dick. Okay? Whoever neuters their pets is an absolute joke. And if that's one of you guys, change it. Next one that you get, don't turn it into a transsexual, maybe. I don't know. If the cat could talk, he probably would be like, hey, can you not cut my claws off and chop my little dick off? That's neither here nor there. We're going to jump right into the stocks today because, again, it is Labor Day. It's a beautiful day in LA. Everybody's outside by the pool getting jiggy, and I'm about to go join everyone with the nicest steaks for grilling, the nicest corn on the cob, just the whole nine, and of course, water and to be liquor. Because I got a big week, a big month this month. Need to get on my P's and Q's. Need to get back on my workout grind. I've dropped a bunch of weight, probably about 8-9 pounds, which was my goal. Now it's time to bulk up a little bit again. But we are and I really need to get a better setup here. I'm sorry, guys, but I really wasn't loving the 12-foot green screen in the middle of my kitchen, just not really my twist. Now my place looks absolutely incredible. I got flowers and shit. I mean, come on. What a duh. But I got to get this done before I do anything else and before I black out and forget that I had to do anything, period. Why won't this go up? There it is. There it is. Why won't that go up? There it go. There it go. We're going to start with, I even did notes today, even because I went through my entire watch list. I looked at everything. I said, this is going to go. This one's not going to go. I did my own DD. I did my own research. I have a few that I really like, and we're going to discuss them. And guys, if you really want me to, make sure you comment it in the YouTube about what you want me to review. Because I think I have one from a request, but I couldn't find anything else. So God only knows what he's doing in there. Probably tearing up my furniture and pooping all over my floors. And I act like I don't care. But another one thing before I get started is if you have an animal, I don't know if you guys do or not, but if you do, it helps you get your face out of your phone when you're not working, and that's one notch on the good side for sure. Sorry, I'm like, people are like texting me. What are we going to start with? Oh yeah, it's in notes. Jesus Christ, Jiminy Django, FFIE. See, this is the weird thing that I don't understand why it's doing that. I don't care. It's not that serious. There it is. Okay. The reason why I like this one, I mean, it's a electric car company. As I'm pretty sure. I'm under the assumption. I did a little bit of DD, read the boards a little bit, but the RSI, when it tends to get down here, it tends to run a little bit. When it starts to hug this bottom band, it went all the way back up to the top. If you get any type of move like that, like let's say you bought it here, even it would be 100% right back to this middle. So watch for a reversal. Watch for a candle. A MACD starting to turn up. RSI is oversold. You are getting enough volume. It is a scam. I'm almost sure of it. Let's go back historically. Is this a 52-week low? Yes, it is. Might be an all-time low. and you're looking for about 100% to the upside here. And that's just to get back to the middle band. So you don't have to need anything crazy to happen for that to happen. Again, I don't care about the actual company. I don't care if their cars are real. I don't care if it's as big of a scam as Moan. Doesn't matter to me. All I know is it's low right now. Apron. This one's just kind of on breakout watch here. Oh, thanks, dude. No, that's sick. I love when you don't work. No, it's like my favorite. I really do appreciate it. I really do love it. Okay, this one looks really good because it looks like it's about to break this resistance here. This is the type of thing that I would go all in on if it breaks this level. What is it? Yeah, about $9. Breaks $9 and holds above it. Like, I would go all in on this at 10. Writing that down. $10 I'm going to put in $9.75 for my alert, and that's pretty much all you need to know. I'm assuming it has something to do with food. I think, oh, Blue Apron. Yeah, that's a pretty well-known company too. Unless they put out an offering and absolutely destroy their shareholders. If it breaks above this, I don't know why it's like running. I don't know what's so great about it, but because it's been around for a while, but whatever. I mean, it's moving. You know, you're going to have a lot of room on the RSI. Your MACD is going to have a lot of room. The volume is like enough where you can enter and exit with a large position. So there is liquidity. But based on the chart, you know, as long as this thing doesn't pull back, I mean, it could pull back down to here. We're just going to watch the 10 level. And when that breaks, that would be the best time to buy it because it would be on a breakout. UVXY. I'm going to try and also diversify this week for the most part. I mean, if there's something that I really, really like, then yes, I will go all in on it because I'm a wild gambler and I want to die and I have a death wish financially. But this one does seem to be at bottom as well. It's had 5, 6 basically straight red days because this is the one that goes against the market. So if the market's going up, this will go down and vice versa. So that's... it's always interesting, and I do think the market is going to pull back at some point, so it might be the time to buy this bad boy. It does trade a little funky. Like as soon as it goes up, it just gets shorted back down. There is a lot of short interest here, but you did get a reversal candle on Friday. I do think that the market's going to start off a little bit slow. I do think that this at least has the potential to get back to 17, highest possible 20, somewhere in that range. If you're buying at 14, you get to 20. I mean, what else do you want? That's about 40%, and that's on the short side of the market. So we shall see how that one goes off that reversal candle at bottom on Monday. If it turns red again, then I'll just dump it. IDEX. Thank you for not working. Thank you for not working. You don't work all the time and I want to murk myself. Okay, IDEX looks good. Looks good. I like the fact that it's down here at the bottom. I like the fact that it's riding low. I like the fact that it's low riding on the West Coast with the hood boys. Sorry, I will not say that again. I swear. The coffee's starting to kick in. I'm getting excited to eat these grilled meats and, you know, you're just going to have to deal with that from time to time. If you want to unsubscribe, happily do so. But just remember that these are only bursts of energy that come out ever so often. Usually I'm a little bit calm and collective, but sometimes I'm going to rap. Sometimes I'm going to, you know, do weird shit that maybe you've never seen before. It'll be a new experience. Maybe you want to show your kids. Maybe you want to show your wife. Maybe you want to talk to people about it at work. Doesn't matter to me. All I know is I'm going to be myself. I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm going to punt this goddamn cat if it doesn't shut the hell up. I'm kidding. People that abuse animals are jokes. They're sad. They're disgusting, and I would kill them. He's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yes, I know you want to get in the closet. Yes, I know you probably pooped on my sheets. Yes, I know you probably pissed all over my pillows, but that's fine. I'm not going to care. I'm going to love you. So we're going to get back into IDEX here. Now I got the blood flowing. I got the blood boiling. And I like this chart. I like it because it's down here, probably a 52-week low. I would assume it's very close to it. You're looking at 250. That's what I want to see it tap. If it taps 250, I would set a buy in at 250, and then I would set a stop loss at like 240. Okay, so you're not gonna don't ever lose money. Don't lose big batches of money. If you lose $100 to $500, that's fine. That's at least my risk That's what I'm willing to risk is about $500. I don't want to lose $1,000. I don't want to lose $1,500. I want to make that on the gain side. So my losses have to be smaller because I'm going to take losses. So if I buy in this at 250, which is basically the bottom of this wick over here, and if this isn't recording, I'll shoot myself in my own brain and then I'll feed it to the cat and then it'll be the end of it. But yes, it is. So thank God death is not upon us. Now, this RSI has always ran from when it tends to peak underneath there, it still gets pretty bullish. Last time it did it, it went bing, bang, bop. And then it went ching, chang, chop. And then it went bang, bang, bang. So now we're at another place where we can... What are you? Oh my God, he's really exploring now. Sorry, it's going to be a distraction, and I'm going to have to put him in a cage when I do videos from now on. That's what I'm noticing. Not really, because I would never do that because I don't abuse animals, and I'm probably the nicest human to ever exist, and that's why he loves me so much and gives me kisses and nuzzles with me in the nighttime. But this thing looks like it could come back to this middle band. Maybe it fills this gap. Maybe it goes to the top band, but you're looking at 250 for a buy-in. I wouldn't buy it any lower than that or any higher than that. Maybe here, if it starts to get another, gives you a little green day, okay, you start thinking about it. Now he's turning off lights, okay. But that's what it's looking like there. He's probably chewing on the wires, probably going to get electrocuted. But I do like IDEX, and I do like it right here, right around the 250 mark. Could be a really good situation. Now, ELTP is another bad boy. It's another mama jama. It's another bang bang. Would you stop turning off the lights? I already have bad lighting as it is. If I had a kid, I'd mark myself. ELTP. Now, this is one that I've been charting, or I just started today. I was like, all right, wait a second. I look for things like this. This is what GNS did for me. I was trading GNS all in between here because it had liquidity. This one does not have as much. Well, it still does. I mean, it still has like, I don't know, 50, 60 grand, but it doesn't have as much as GNS had. GNS had millions of dollars going in and out of it, so I knew I could get in and I could get out very easily. This one's a lot more thinly traded, not as much interest, but as far as a dollar volume, but it looks very similar. And it's flagging almost perfectly. If it breaks to the downside out of this flag, I'm not interested. If it breaks to the upside out of this flag, let's say we start hitting 10 cents, we start closing above 10 cents, it closes outside this range, I'm in, I'm out the next day, 100% guaranteed almost. Not really, but it'll definitely be a very good sign of something to come, and that would be bullish as all bullishness can be. So I'm going to also look at what the fundamental, I'm going to look up what the fundamentals are on this company. I could see that it's a pharmaceutical. They tend to dilute. Hopefully they're not doing so. Hopefully the MACD stays strong. The RSI stays strong. We're going to have to follow this over the next few days. I do think that within the next few days, you're either going to you're either going to go to hell or you're going to go to heaven. You're either going to sing with the devil and all of his demons or with the Lord and all of his angels upon the heavenlies, upon the mountaintops of all glory and all everything that is good in this world. Hello, Kitty. ELTP looks very good. G-SAC. Ball sack city, piece of shit. Lost money on. I made money on this and then I lost money on it. So what are you gonna do? But I'm watching it now. I came back to it and I said, "Oh hey, hi, how you do? How you do, little shoe? How you do, little boo? How you do, my goo? How you do, my little chicken? How you do? What you do? What you doing? Sorry. Whoa. There's things in this world that. And not to get off on a tangent here, if you're watching this review thinking that it's strictly going to be business oriented, it's not. When you do certain things like that, like what I just uttered out of my trap, you need to repent first of all. Now, is it going to be forgiven by God? I'm not sure. I don't know if the Lord can forgive everything. Murder, coveting, adultery, stealing. They're on another wing. What I just did was pretty much the cream of the crop of sin. We don't do things that way. And there's things that we can't repent from, we can't come back from. And I don't know if the gates await me in heaven or in hell. As previously discussed, I might be banned from heaven for eternity. And that's not a place that I want to be. So what am I going to do tonight before I go to bed? I get on my knees beside my bed and I plead with Jesus, plead with whoever that you pray to, and you just ask forgiveness. And that's all you can do. It doesn't mean that it's going to be granted. Okay, so I'm not going to do that again, and I'm going to repent and I'm going to ask forgiveness. But as far as G-SAC goes, if you bought anywhere up here, you probably feel the same way, that you must ask for forgiveness, for your sins, for your transgressions, for the wrongs that you have done. But if you actually sold, which I did, actually it was here. I got caught. I had to dump on this red candle, and thank God I did, because it's all the way back down at 3.2. If you can enter this at 2, I almost guarantee they will pump it to 5. Now I'm going to be watching for volume, okay? I'm going to be watching for volume. If I have to get in at 3 and out at 5, that's fine. If I can get in at 2 and I can get a large load, because there's not a lot of volume going on in here. 22.48 million at 2 is literally not a nothing. A lot of nothing. So we're just going to watch him. We're just going to keep our eyes looking at the volume, making sure that we have volume to get in and get out. But if I can get in at 2, I can almost guarantee that I'll at least be able to get out at 3, which on such a small, uptick, if you're going for it. But now remember, if it goes 2 to 1, you're down 50%. If it goes 2 to 3, I think you're up like 34%, somewhere in that range. So it's very tricky down here. You don't want to lose on the bid, but you might want to get off on the ask. And if you do, then you're going to be shooting to the goddamn ceiling, because it's going to be a 1 tick 30% gain. Keep an eye on it. Hey, Chicky. Ah, you're not getting any attention now, huh? Okay. Kenan. What, you want more steak? I don't know if I'd already told you guys in this take, but I literally feed him steak, bacon, and everything else. He loves it. And everybody's like, oh, he's going to get parasites. Shut the fuck up. What do you think, tigers, don't eat blood? Shut up. Just stop talking. Kenan, look, I mean, this thing just looks classical. It looks like a classical masterpiece. And my brain is thinking classical because I hook my computer up when I'm working, when I'm doing this stuff, to a soundbar in my living room with classical music playing, and I actually do work. If you listen to rap music or anything else, by the way, my cleaning lady is Smoke Sesh, and she keeps looking at me but doesn't speak a lick of English. And every time she walks by my doors, I keep my things open, and I'm going to stop there. But I do like Kenan, and I like it because... Oh, and by the way, the classical music, do that. Don't listen to rap or rock or anything else. Listen to classical music. Allow yourself to get engulfed into the work and pay attention. You don't need Adderall. You don't need drugs. You just focus and you get it done, okay? You get it done, and then you're prepared for the next day. You're prepared for the week, and you're not just throwing money at random shit 24/7, because that ain't going to work. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die a horrible death. You're going to have to sell your kids to some Taiwanese company that picks rice out of leaves, and then they make $2 an hour. They got to send it here through Western Union. You don't even get to Western Union until 3 days later and get robbed by a gang of never mind. But Kenan, it's looking really good, and I really do like the fact that it's about to break out, and it has a very, very good chance of getting back up here to not that high. 14, you're at 8. You got to watch for volume. Volume's got to come in. Again, very low volume, 4.5 million shares. These are ones that I'm just watching for volume. Is this thing going to have a big spike that breaks out of where it used to? It's breaking out of resistance, at least as far as I can see. But you are in the trips, so one buy could change that. I'm waiting for volume. Once the volume comes in, I'm liking the MACD. I'm liking the RSI over 50. It looks like it's getting hot. Just keep an eye is all I say. Why did I do so many? Why did I do so many? Sorry. Why do I do that every time? You'd think I'd learn by now. AITX is an absolute low. It's an absolute piece of shit. It's probably the biggest scam to ever exist, but it doesn't matter to me because it's a good price. And all I do is buy low and sell high. I don't even know what the company does. I don't care if they sell socks or moon equipment. It doesn't matter to me. If they sell candles or fucking furnace equipment, okay, it doesn't matter to me. All I want to do is know that the price is going to go up from the current price where it is right now, okay? All the chart is going to show you is what it previously has done. It's not going to show you what it's going to do, but you know if you're buying all the way down here, chances are you're going to be pretty good. Now, this thing has a lot of volume every day, probably via dilution for whatever reason. I don't know. Sometimes these bloated stocks, they'll get volume out of nowhere. I don't know if it's people buying. I don't know if it's MMs just tossing shares back and forth. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Why? Because it's low, and I like when it's low, okay? I like when it's dropping its thing down low, and I just come in and swoop it, okay? And this looks really good down here. Okay, now the Americano is really kicking in and I haven't eaten anything. So the caffeine levels are through the roof and I'm sweating under this hat in 60-degree air conditioning because for whatever reason, my power is always the same, whether I use so much air conditioning or none at all. But AITX, I'm kind of going off here, but I do like it down here. I'm going to watch it. If you look, when it tends to get down here, it tends to run. Get down here. I mean, that didn't do as much, but then boom. Okay. And it's forming a double. You just got to get this other edge. The top is 63, the top band. You're currently at 52. So you don't have a lot of room to the upside. Your volume seems to be the same every day. It's very weird. But your RSI is turning up. Your MACD is turning up. This could be a good time to buy AITX. I wouldn't stare you wrong. I would never lie. I've never told no lie. Jesus knows. GAGY. This one recently got back on my radar. I don't know if I'll buy it. I mean, this is one that got a lot of people to... Am I going to do that every time? I'm going to do that every time, huh? Yeah, probably. But that's okay. I mean, this one came back down to this previous line of resistance, which it broke above and ran. Now it came back down there. I probably was a gap to fill down there too. Now it's starting to wake up a little bit. Your RSI is starting to turn up. Your MACD is starting to get a little bit hotter. You're only at 2 million volume. So you're going to need something to come in, whether it be news, an update via Twitter, or maybe just volume to come out of nowhere. But you're sitting at a bottom here. I don't think that it has much more room down to the downside. I mean, it's at least... It's a company that actually talks to its shareholders. It's fucked it all up because it said something about it. They don't care if the price is at trip 3, which is not something that you want to say to your investors because obviously they care. But yeah, I mean, watch this one as well. That's pretty much what all these are. Is they're just what I'm watching. I don't know what I'm going to do this week. Something could completely change, but from what I was looking at over the weekend, this is what I'm liking. At least for options. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy them. Imp oil is going up. This one has been, I don't understand it. The company's really solid. They paid off a lot of debt. They're a tanker company for oil. Oil's on the rise. Your RSI is turning up. Your MACD's curling up. The price is curling up. It kind of looks like a hook here. 147 is the current price. You get above this middle band with a strong close. You might be looking at this gap fill at 250. And this is one that's not going to move too bad to the downside or to the upside, or to the downside, at least from here, in my opinion. I think you're at a very low cost here. Imp is going to be on my close watch for Monday, for sure, especially with oil prices. Hold on. Okay. That was Imperial Pet. AMC. Traded out of this one, got stomped out just because, I don't know, So I'm going to do that every time, right? All right. I'm just making sure I'm going to keep my eye on that and just make sure I do it every time. But AMC, I mean, look, God, I shouldn't have sold this. I'll be looking at this. I'll be keeping a close eye on this. Remember, this is a tradable stock. This isn't something that you believe in. This isn't something where you say that the price is going to run to 400 and the market cap is going to be 2 trillion and AMC is going to survive. No, they're going bankrupt eventually. It's a piece of shit company. They were up on news of Taylor Swift. That's not going to save the company. It's a piece of shit. They're diluting. It's just... come on, stop. I don't want to hear the ultra bullishness, but it is tradable. And I've traded it. I got in at 11. I got out at 12.50 or whatever it was. That's fine. That's a good return on my investment. It's like 12, 13% in a couple of days. Fine. On a big board stock. Now, this thing has potential. If it gets above 14, you get above 13, you get above 14 on a hard close, I'll probably re-enter. So keep an eye on AMC. It's got some bullishness going for it. They might pump it into another offering, but they're definitely going to probably pump it some more. Moan. I don't even know why I talk about this company. Listen, before I get into it, if you guys saw the, oh, I'm sorry, I am going to do that every time. Okay, just making sure, just reminding everybody that I will, in fact, do that every time. Keep water on deck. Probably the worst view of a chart that you'll ever see. Now, look, see, When I was born in a computer lab, as some may say. And they say that my first words were typed. They said that I would dissect computers, and I'm not talking about just the parts. I would dissect the parts into individual metals. I would get a smelter from the bio lab. I'd smelt everything down. I'd get the individual ions, and then I'd play around with them, and then I'd manually, with no machinery involved. This is all manually. I would literally, outside the smelter, I would get, and I would put the ions back together in their original forms, whether that be aluminum, whatever, whatever type of metal it was. And I would rebuild the computer from scratch. So, yes, that's where I was brought up, but all this modern day technology isn't best for me. I know the primitive stuff. I know the organic materials, okay? I don't know once it's put together. I don't know what's going on, okay? But now that I figured that out and how to make the chart a little bit easier to see, am I a genius? I'm not sure. Is my IQ 190? I don't know. But I do know that I just figured that out on the fly, and you're a beneficiary of that because now you can see what I'm talking about. So Moan is just a piece of junk, okay? And it always has been. If you saw the video, I'm sorry, but this guy is the biggest con artist. He's literally on national TV, and whatever Payne says, what about your SGA costs, which is general administrative, like basically what they're spending on their day-to-day basis at restaurants, whatever. It's their card that they use when they go out to dinner and schmooze potential clients, which they don't have. So it's really just him scamming money out of the company. When he was asked about this question, he acted like he had fucking technical difficulties. Okay, this is unbelievable. If you saw that interview and you're bullish and you don't say to yourself, wow, I'm getting scammed by this guy. I need to just trade this stock even if I've lost all of my money. Well, you take it as you rebuild. You don't just sit there and be like, no, this is the base. You're just literally feeding a criminal, you piece of shit. You are part of it. If you know, this guy is a scammer. Look at the cars. The luxury cars like a Mercedes has a roll bar in it. Okay, it's unbelievably ugly. These cars are unbelievably trash. You know that, but you're willfully being naive because you're losing money, which is pride, and that's one of the biggest emotions to avoid in the market. So just get away from it. My followers already know. Yeah, if you want to trade it, you trade it. But you don't invest in this company, especially after that interview. And he's right. The SGA costs are astronomical because he's using all your money to go on yachts, and meanwhile he's saying that he's got all this production going on. What? Putting fucking Chinese cars back together again? Nah, stop. Just stop. Please, for the love of God, you're going to make me angry. You're going to make me cry. You're going to make me literally go to a grave and bury myself alive. I don't understand why you can be so dumb. Just stop being so dumb. Okay, so I'm going to do that every time. Just remembering, just making sure you guys know that will happen every single time. Now, we're going to pull back a little bit here. See how I did that? Now, whoa, RSI is a little bit high, 85 too hot. MACD doesn't look that bad. What's your volume? What's your volume? Okay, 34 million? Is that what that says? I think it says 34 million. This one might be my favorite. Why is this running? This is my favorite, I think. I have to look. I don't like the RSI, though. I don't like the RSI up here. You've pretty much had just straight green days for like 1,000 years. Will it pull back to this middle orange band? If you can snag 8s here, I mean, 7s would be legend, but if you can grab 8s here on a quick pullback before they run this, I think it's breaking out. I'm going to look into the DD of this, but IGEX, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's probably one of my top picks because it looks like it's closing above the middle orange band. You're kind of riding on the top band now. After these things pinch, there could be something coming out on this. I would like to see the RSI cool off, but that's one of my favorite ones. IGEX, keep an eye. NVOS. Okay, every time. It's like unbelievable. NVOS. If this thing gets above, I would gladly buy this. What's it going to be? Hey, this thing start cooking above 30. But the weird thing about this stock, if I zoom in here, nope, wrong way, is it's just it's thin, and when it gets volume, I don't know, it's just doing this weird shit where it's like gapping up, gapping down, you know. You draw a line here, it seems like that could be the high, but if it gets above like 20, if it starts hitting 25, 26, 27, your RSI is not extremely overcooked, and your MACD isn't really doing anything. I can't even really see it. Yeah, I mean, it's actually curling up in a good way. So, you know, keep an eye on it, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit all over the place for me. If you know, you know. I mean, this just looks so good. We got to pull this up on stock chart. Oh, man, that looks good. I like this stock. Let's go into stock charts. We're going to look up, I mean, geez. Yeah, I'm definitely diversifying this week because I'm not going to try and like pick one. This thing, yeah, I mean, I think it's gone. I'd have to pull this. Let's see where our potential run could go to. I mean, this might be going to a cent. It's currently at 5. That's 100%. I think this has to be a big buy for me. Yeah, it's got to be a big buy for me. I mean, Jesus, I had this at 22. Mamacita mi no creete. For those of you that don't speak Taiwanese, that means daddy do likey the stocky. Jesus. BDPT. It's also trading very thin, so, you know, get your shares there, folks, in my opinion. Mamma mia, papa pia, mi no creete. Okay, every single time, yeah. Okay. Howl. This was a... Howling at the moon! You know, when I do things like that, you have to understand that when I go outside and I take a walk and I'm with myself, I remember these times. And I get extreme anxiety. Okay? And so just know that you're not the only one that has to deal with it when I do things of that nature. Sorry. How? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything coming out with the company? It just seems like it's trading sideways. I mean, it's obviously a range from about $2 to about $2 to $4. So yeah, I mean, if you're getting in at low twos, you should be good. But again, I mean, this is the daily, so it's taking a long time to go through these things. But if you want to hold long, two's your buy, 350 is your sell. When you buy it at 2, you just set it and you set a stop loss or whatever, and then you also set, if you see it going up, then you just set your sell at 350 and you don't even think about it. I like it. I like it in that range, but I don't know, you know, I wouldn't expect much more. And then the last in that final, boy, is AITX. Wowza choo choo. For those of you that don't understand Zimbabwean, that means daddy do likey this stocky a lottie. Okay, so I successfully went through this entire thing and fucked up every single time. But that's fine, because we learn and we adapt. And am I going to do it again? No. Absolute monolithic monstrosity of marsupialville with the marmalade butter. Sorry. But this thing really looks good. But here's the thing. Well, here, look. I mean, this thing went on an absolute tear. So we got to give it its props. You know, could anybody have seen this coming? Probably not. You know, it's your MACD was, or your RSI was coming up. And your MACD was looking good, but that wasn't even 3 days before, so there was no way to show things like this. But this is a brilliant day trade. If you actually were looking at this during the day, the price came up, created a peak, and then all throughout the day, it started closing in on that peak. And once it broke that peak, it went. That's a very similar chart for breakout. That's what I'm seeing in BDBT. There's a lot of things that look, if you get the hump, and then you get the break. Apron is one of them. You get that break, then you could be on a breakout watch. That's what you're looking for. This now, it's creating a flag. So you're going to get some movement between probably, I don't know, somewhere high 20s and somewhere 40s. So this could be a very good day tradable stock at the bottom of the range and sell at the top. Your RSI isn't completely overbought somehow, and your MACD is just starting. It was just so oversold that you're finally starting to get a resurrection on your technicals. Everything looks pretty good, but I really like BDBT and I really like JPEX, probably BDBT even more. If I can get in on that bad boy anywhere under 5, Daddy is going to do that. Okay. It's time to go. It's time to drink. It's time to say hello to my neighbors and hello to the people that love me and hello to the people that hate me. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. The coffee is kicking. To everybody, I hope you have a great week next week. I hope you make money. I hope you don't lose your ass like half the people are going to do. Probably more than that, more like 90%. But you just got to live with it. You got to get on to the next trade and you got to get a cat. Got it?